Mabuhay Manila, Ishadil here from ManilaShaker.com, and we've got a new mid-range phone right here. This is the Huawei Nova 7 SE 5G. Yes, it offers 5G connectivity, 4K video recording, KIRIN 820 5G chipset, 40 watts fast charge, and it is priced at 19,990 pesos. Well, without Google services, is it worth it? Let's find out. We can't deny the fact that it doesn't have GMS or Google Mobile services, so watch carefully. We have here two apps where we can find all the available apps on the Huawei app gallery, and then in this app called Petal Search, you can just search Netflix, for example. Then wait when it prompts to click download, wait for it, then it will prompt again to install, and simply run the app. The same thing for games. Now I sideloaded apps as many as I can think of, and there you have it. All the necessary apps that I need are here, pretty simple. I got Google Keep, which syncs my notes on our computer, YouTube browser app, Google Chrome, and more. So, little hassle this time around. Now before we test each game, let's first take a look at the camera quality, shall we? It has 64 megapixel main shooter with f1.8 aperture, 8 megapixel ultra-wide, 2 megapixel macro, and 2 megapixel depth sensor. We'll just show you the sample shots, but we will have another video for the camera review for this Nova 7 SE because it has tons of camera features that are worth mentioning but are too numerous and will make this video too long. So here are the essentials. This is a shot from a 64 megapixel lens that is beamed down to a 16 megapixel photo. It gives natural colors and has a dynamic range, although when we see the shadows it feels like it needs a little boost. So turning on HDR will give it a lift, and at the same time, there's not much visible grain, which is good. Shooting at night, images are quite sharp, but we get a little noise because of high ISO and blurry picture quality because of slow shutter. However, when there is no moving subject, the photo is bright at night, and it gives sharp, good-looking photos. And if you turn on the night mode, it will give you an overall balanced and bright, clear image. Now switching to the ultra-wide lens, it gets overexposed as you can see here, but the colors are still the same as with the main cam. What's good about the ultra-wide shot of Nova 7 SE is that it doesn't have visible color fringing or the violet color leak we see on other phones. That means the lens has good quality in capturing landscapes ultra-wide. So moving on to the macro lens, it only has a fixed focus of around 4 cm apart. Colors are still the same as with the main cam, and I can say that the quality is quite acceptable. It doesn't introduce a lot of noise even shooting macro indoors. Last is the depth sensor. Shooting with a subject feels like the bokeh effect is still the same as with the main cam. However, when we introduce people on the scene, the background separation is now at work, but it doesn't have 100% accuracy as you see on the top of the photo. The subject, however, is sharp and bright even when shooting at night. Switching to selfie, what we found is impressive. We can adjust the skin tone to whatever suits your taste. And this is a good thing. It also has a good contrast and balanced exposure. Background separation is not that accurate, but it still gives depth. Now onto its performance, we got KIRIN 820 5G built with 7nm chip. That means we have a power efficient chipset that can save battery while managing heat distribution. It also has 8GB of RAM plus 128GB of internal storage. And as you saw earlier, we got a tons of apps right now that is useful, at least for me. Talking about productivity apps, we can still edit a photo using photo editing apps such as Lightroom. We can also use some social media apps like Instagram and ride-hailing apps such as Grab, Angkas, etc. and navigation apps which are very helpful in daily needs. We also got TikTok, which has a great lighting and doesn't have any lags and blurs when shooting a video. Now let's go ahead to our gaming review. We managed to install benchmarking apps thanks again to Petal Search, and we got a nice score right here. And to enlighten you about the score, this is the first mid-range sub 20k smartphone that was able to reach that number of points as we know so far. So, we tried to play heavy games, and on PUBG Mobile, the frames and stability are surprisingly good and stable. It has HD plus high graphics, and what's impressive is that even if we bump the settings using GFX tool, the stability is still quite the same. Although it hits up a little bit and we can start to feel the warmth on the device. But it doesn't even stutter at max graphics available thanks to the 7nm power efficient chipset. Now trying Call of Duty Mobile, we got a few technical difficulties since the version we downloaded on APK Pure is not the Garena version. So again, we need to improvise. We installed a clone phone on both devices, the one with COD Mobile Garena and the Huawei Nova 7 SE. Then we chose the specific game we wanted, and now we can play Call of Duty Mobile with our account logged in as well. Though I found the app version I was looking for in APK Pure upon doing a little searching, so I just ended up giving myself a hard time. The game has all the settings unlocked and it is smooth even at max graphics. And playing Battle Royale is also very satisfying. We get a max frames of 60 FPS in high settings and it is battery smooth. On Mobile Legends, it's already on high graphics with high frame rates turned off, and even if we turned it on or enable all settings, the game is no doubt smooth and stutter free on this device. Next is Honkai Impact 3. The game recommends medium graphics with 30 FPS in combat. Well, surprisingly, it runs a decent 30 FPS with 99% stability. Then we bump it up to maximum settings of high plus 60 FPS. We have no complaints regarding the gameplay on Nova 7 SE. On all the other mid-rangers we tested on this channel, this is the only mid-range smartphone that didn't even stutter on our first try of raiding this level. It has a very good stability score and a decent and stable FPS. Now the NBA 2K20, which we downloaded on APK Pure, the game needs a Google Play Games app, but you can just bypass it by tapping on the site. The downside, however, is that we can't click the settings. Maybe there is some sort of a bug in the game itself, so better find the right version for your device. Meanwhile, the game is pretty stable and stutter-free on these optimal settings that we cannot view. Now launching the Asphalt 9 again, there are no complaints here. It easily runs well with default and high quality settings. The game is pretty convenient. We give a good score on stability. Now you saw the gaming performance of this phone. The next topic will be the battery. These are our battery endurance tests and charging tests. Everything is fine. They made it a little easier and more convenient now thanks to Petal Search. For those who are not that tech savvy, it can easily sideload apps as easy as a simple click. The camera is impressive, especially at nighttime. It offers night mode, and even if we are in the normal photo mode, the picture is bright and nearly well balanced. Performance is pretty impressive as well. All the games we are testing on our past gaming reviews are here. Performance is great and we didn't encounter drastic stutters and frame drops. And that's it. That's the Huawei Nova 7 SE. Do you still consider it as a daily driver? Well, for me, it's a tough question since we use Google Keep for notes synchronization. But the good news is that there's always a remedy for that. So if you want a powerful sub 20k smartphone and you're satisfied with their ecosystem, this phone is definitely for you. Just remember, there is always room for improvement regarding comfortability and the overall feel of the device. So this ends our review. Check out all our tech news, reviews, and comparison of the latest device at manilashaker.com. Subscribe if you want and click the bell for more upcoming contents. This is Aishadel. Mabuhay, Manila!